Hey guys, welcome to Future Trend today. Just wanted to take a moment to record, hopefully, what would turn out to be, or what will turn out to be, a short video. I'm just trying to think introspectively as to how newcomers in this space may be trying to navigate this pretty much ever-evolving and very quickly evolving space called cryptocurrencies and everything in between. So, lo and behold, just a few days ago, IMF decided to post a video explaining cryptocurrencies and do the job for me, which was rather nice of IMF. IMF stands for International Monetary Fund, in case you're wondering, and all these financial related terms, if you're looking to find the real meaning behind them and pretty much an in-depth explanation, you're welcome to go check out Investopedia, as that's a good resource for this kind of information. But they went in depth on, well, actually they didn't really go in depth, but they did a very good job of briefly and pretty concisely explaining what cryptocurrencies are and their use cases, their benefits and the like. So we'll take a look at that later today, and I'm going to end it off with my thoughts of the Ripple Blockstars podcast, which is hosted by David Schwartz, and he is Ripple's CTO, his Chief Technology Officer. So I believe he was also part of the team that put together or built the XRP ledger, and for all intents and purposes, I for one, as an introvert, consider his job of hosting the podcast extremely helpful. He does a great job of explaining everything for you, and we'll go through that as well today. So first and foremost, we're going to start off with the video that the IMF posted on Twitter just a couple days ago here. So I'm just going to full screen this and start from the beginning. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
When we buy or sell things, the payment is usually processed by a bank or credit card company. Problem number one, the companies often take a cut of the transaction. Two, we have to trust these companies to protect their sensitive data from hackers. Three, most international payments take a long time and are expensive. To solve these problems, we could use a special currency that is secure and based on the science of cryptography, which is a way of protecting information using mathematics. This special type of currency is called a cryptocurrency and only exists in computer networks. When you send someone this special currency, the money goes directly to them, removing the middleman.
That's a very big value proposition, or a major value proposition for cryptocurrencies. That's why most people are drawn to it. So,
and at the same time, the transaction is broadcast to the entire network and recorded in a permanent way, which means it's almost impossible.
Okay, so it's important to understand which kinds of cryptocurrencies they use in this illustration, and I'll explain that at the end of the video.
To fool the system. Costs of making payments are lower, transactions are faster, especially across countries, and even those people around the globe who don't have bank accounts can buy or sell goods and participate in the global economy. However, there are some risks. The transactions in most cryptocurrencies are anonymous. Some cryptocurrencies can even be untraceable. This can make it easier for the bad guys to make payments.
I beg to differ. I have my own reservations regarding what you just mentioned about how certain things are not traceable. My take on things is, if anything is online, there's a footprint. There's always a there are breadcrumbs that are left behind. So yes, it depends on your skill set, but I mean, yeah, she makes a good point. Some individuals who are looking to evade taxes or launder money would essentially probably use some cryptocurrencies over others, and that's not to say that they can't be caught. So I would want you guys to just take this all with a grain of salt and not necessarily think everything is foolproof per se, because law enforcement would be well equipped to at least, do their job. Yeah, I'll just stop there and let her play on.
Without being noticed. If you lose your password, you could lose all your money. At the moment, cryptocurrencies are highly volatile.
True.
they can't process large amounts of transactions quickly yet, and they're not even widely accepted. But if we can counter the risks, then this new technology, or some variation of it, can completely change the way we sell,
some variation of it,
buy, save, invest, and pay our bills. And who knows, this could be the next step in the evolution of money.
You guys go check it out. That's on IMF's website, or actually their Twitter. You guys should give that a check. And by the way, yeah, this was on my Twitter. You're welcome to go follow me, and also contact me if you guys are looking to communicate or have any questions. I'm personally for the notion that every day is an opportunity to learn something new. So for those of us that are still students in this space, videos like this are pretty helpful in at least drawing conclusions or coming to some sort of better understanding as to how everything works. And I think this video was a good illustration of that by IMF. And I drew attention to the list of the list of cryptocurrencies they use in this ledger illustration here, and they specifically use BTC, Ethereum, and XRP. Those are currently the top 3 in market cap within the crypto space, and one of the 2, or at least the company that kind of stewards one of the 2, has the most airtime on mainstream media. If you look at the news, which CTOs or CEOs or representatives are interviewed the most on local news networks, and that is, in my opinion, I think it's Ripple. Ethereum, you don't see their CEO on the news as much. I mean, yes, he does make appearances on public forums where questions are asked for blockchain related issues or just showcases. And for the odd chance that you likely saw an ad on this video, he's most likely on those ads as well. But just as a disclaimer, don't click on any scam ads. If something is asking you to submit or give cryptocurrencies for more in return, that's a scam, just an FYI. Don't fall for that kind of stuff, guys. But yeah, just to give you an idea in terms of who is doing their job to properly represent the cryptocurrency space, I think Ripple is actually ahead of the game compared to most other cryptocurrencies in the space. And with that in mind, if you're looking for something else to, give you a fresh look at the space and a discussion of blockchain, its history, and its current findings in the space as well, I think this new podcast that I've been paying attention to recently, which is BlockStars, hosted by this man here, David Schwartz. He is he's Ripple CTO, and he does a good job of, just interviewing individuals that are important and significant in the space. And I think it's a great place to start if you're trying to graduate in the school of cryptocurrencies, because the question is something that is going to be asked a lot over the next few months and years. What are cryptocurrencies? These are the individuals that I have drawn, outside of the video that I left or posted a couple days ago regarding where I started. You guys could go check that out as to where I started, how I've educated myself over the past few years. BlockStars is a good place to start when it comes to an alternative source of information outside of the YouTube channels or IMF's posts or anything of the sort. So I just wanted to play a little segment of that podcast for you guys now. And this here is episode 8. This here is episode 8 of BlockStars with David Schwartz, and he interviewed Barry Etchengreen. I'm not exactly certain who he is, but I believe he's an economist. And I just liked the topics that they discussed in this one. So I'm just going to play a short segment of that.
We in the economics profession do learn a little bit from history, and you hear those warnings less frequently this time around.
So do you think the Fed's doing the right thing by ramping up the production of new money?
I do. This pandemic is tantamount to fighting a war. And I think the Fed has to do what it takes to keep financial markets functioning, which is what it is doing by buying everything that moves. And there will be a bill to pay down the road. There's all this liquidity sloshing around in markets, and it's going into strange places now.
Anyway, so you guys can take a look at that, as I believe this actually draws a good, healthy amount of attention to the global economy at large, what's currently happening in the economy today, post-COVID, and essentially how we ought to look at things from a different perspective. It's not necessarily the kind of conversation that we engage in regular conversations with friends and family, but it gives you an idea or an inside look on how these kinds of people really think. Individuals like David Schwartz and the like, and economists who pretty much it's their job to pay attention to what happens in the economy. So hearing that kind of rhetoric, hearing that kind of information can help you better position yourself, help you understand the thought process behind money and the history involved, the current events, and the potential direction for the future. So the potential direction for the future, in my opinion, being that IMF came out with a video explaining what cryptocurrencies is, or cryptocurrencies are, I believe draws attention to the fact that may very well be the direction in which we're all going. And if you're here, I'm pretty sure that's possibly the reason why you're probably curious to find out where that direction is as well. So from my perspective, I think that's a good place to start, and it's a relatively well-rounded opinion. Don't take it from me. Do your own research at the end of the day, and none of this is financial advice. It's just a kick in the right direction to help you guys understand, well, the kind of stuff that I'm interested in, which I believe may benefit all of us if we're, in a better position to understand the lingo that they try to make so complicated sometimes in the world of money and finance. So I believe that's everything. As always, if you guys like my content, I really appreciate a like or a comment if you have any questions or concerns. And obviously, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button or bell, and that will at least keep you up to date as to when I post a video. And also, if you are at all wanting to engage in conversation, I'm more than happy to to do that over Twitter. And you can follow me at FutureTrendLou, which is my handle. But thanks so much for watching, guys, and be on standby for the part 2 of my interview with Lee from SPQR. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.